Our Royals expert, James McCourt. You've been on standby. You wore your blue today.
I did, especially.
Did you know? Did you know?
I did when I chose this, actually.
He's honest, at least to say. Yeah. Now, let's just talk. This announcement came. First, we got the Labour announcement.
Right.
And then this announcement came from Kensington on top of it being announced on social media.
Right. So it was all a little bit confusing in the UK because we got to the announcement from Buckingham Palace that Meghan had gone into labour. But then when you actually look back at when the baby was born, which was 5:26 in the morning, the baby had kind of already been born by the time we got the announcement that Meghan was in labour. So I think they were trying to put us off the scent a little bit there. But yeah, it was announced, of course, on their Instagram site, Sussex Royal, as well. Yeah, and I noticed that their followers have jumped up to 6 million today. So there's been a little bump there in the popularity. But yeah, I mean, they're the modern royals. That's how we expected it to be released. That's exactly how it happened. As you said, we don't know exactly where she had the baby yet. If there were no complications, the likelihood is she had it at home at Frogmore Cottage, which is where she is now with Doria, her mum, relaxing and not having to do the on the steps.
She's not relaxing, by the way, James. I'll tell you that there's anything but relaxation.
She's sleeping and resting.
Well, yeah, I mean, she probably was up most of the night, right? If she had the baby at 5:26 in the morning, so she's probably pretty tired.
And
right.
So we said there's no names. They haven't announced that there's any names, but are there any prospect names? Is there anything floating out there?
The top 10 from the bookmakers in the UK that people have bet on are still very traditional names. You've got nothing kind of out of the ordinary in there. James, I noticed, is at number 4 though still, so there is a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance that your name could be royal too, now that Meghan's name is royal.
So look, you can see we've got Albert, Arthur, Alexander, James, Philip. They're all quite kind of normal. You can see kind of royal traditional names, aren't they? But maybe Meghan and Harry will buck the trend and go for something a bit more out of the ordinary. And, you know, they can be a bit more flexible with names because it's not very likely that this 7th in line to the throne little boy is ever going to be on the throne.
The odds are against that.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But, you know, Harry did say to us that we would see something in 2 days. Why 2 days? We're going to see a picture? We're going to see baby and mom?
From what I took from what he said, it sounded like they would actually be there in front of the press in a couple of days, which surprised a lot of us because, you know, we'd been led to believe it was going to be quite a private birth and they would choose when they decided to do that. But we didn't think it would be in like 2 days.
And remember, this is really different from, you know, Kate or Diana. They did it day of, a few hours later.
The royal reveal, which I think is a little odd, quite frankly, to see.
You think? Every woman at home who's had a baby says that it's extremely odd.
4 hours later and then revealing your baby while you're, you know...
And completely glammed up, like, you know, Kate with the hair sort of cascading down, full makeup on, looking great, but still slightly unnatural. I think this seems a lot more normal. And maybe it puts the couple a little more in touch with the likes of us. We can relate to it a bit more. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
He looks so joyous, and I'm sitting there. What will this baby's title be again?
OK, so it's going to be the Earl of Dumbarton. I know it's a mouthful, isn't it? That's Harry's secondary title. They always get a second title from Scotland.
Right.
And so that's what Harry's kind of unofficial second title is, and that's what the baby will be, because he will inherit the dukedom from Harry.
Gotcha. And he could be a prince if the Queen...
Yes,
says he can?
That might happen today in the next few days. She would have to issue a letters patent, which is like a royal decree saying, I will make this child and possibly every other child of Meghan and Harry a prince or princess. That's what happened with Kate and William after George. He's automatically a prince, the others are not. So it remains to be seen. They could decide that they don't want that for their children, so the kids lead a bit more of a normal life. I might expect that from Meghan and Harry, actually, but we'll see.
And you might expect, let's talk about godparents. You know whose birthday it is today? George Clooney's.
I did.
And they're besties.
Know that. Yeah.
What about godparents?
Oprah? What do you
George Clooney.
yeah, right.
Luckiest baby ever.
Beyonce? I mean, with her celebrity friends, she's got a great group of friends, hasn't she? You can't really go wrong with any of them.
Oh, my gosh.
But this is more of a celebrity kind of affair, I think, than other babies. And
it has a sniff of, like, Diana. Like, the whole eyeballs on them is... I love Kate and I love William. Yeah. But this whole...
Well, the US connection as well, I think.
Yeah, she's an American, so it's that much more of a connection for us here in America.
Yeah, and we'll wait and see whether she registers for the baby to be a US citizen with the consulate, which is something they're going to have to do if they want the baby to have dual citizenship. So we'll see.
We can have a royal in America.
Yeah, absolutely. We're back.
James, I'm going to do this. We're going to have you back.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm going to salute you because you've been on baby watch for us and a call. We appreciate it so much.
Of course, no problem.
And so you can check out his website, royal-t.com, for more all-royal action. He's the guy to go to if you want a dish.
You've been fantastic. Thank you so much, James.
No problem. See you soon.
Thank you.